Basketball stirs up some inflammatory issues. Like, was there any doubt over Russell Westbrook's 2017 MVP award? Did KD deserve so much hate for chasing a championship with Golden State? And does anyone have a bigger bag of tricks than Steph Curry? Our blowtorch turns to basketball, here on The Burning Issue. Russell Westbrook lit up the 2016-17 season and made history in the process. But was he the real MVP? Oklahoma City Thunder powerhouse Russell Westbrook set fire to the NBA in the 2016-17 season, becoming the first player since Oscar Robertson to post a regular season triple-double average and surpassing the Big O for most triple-doubles.
Russell Westbrook has passed his way into NBA history with his 42nd triple-double on the year.
What is it like to be a part of history?
It's amazing. It's nothing I never could dream about as a kid.
Russ played with the most intensity, most ferocity, the most aggressive in-the-moment drive. When the milestone was surpassed, the very man who'd been dethroned put out the call.
I'll have one more thing to say. MVP!
Rightly so, Russ became the 2016-17 NBA MVP.
Standing here with this trophy next to me is a true blessing, man. And it's an unbelievable feeling, something that I could never imagine.
Right up to the wire, there was a challenge for MVP in the shape of Houston Rockets hero James Harden. Pundits bickered. Westbrook was the better individual player, while Harden led the better team. This was reaffirmed when the Thunder and the Rockets faced off in the first round of the playoffs. Houston walking away the victors in only 5 games. There's no questioning Harden had an incredible season. His numbers were outstanding, game in, game out, especially with points, the second highest average in the league behind Russ. This, coupled with the Rockets' superior season, was Harden's claim to the MVP award. But when you hear him talk about the support he had, it raises questions of the true meaning of MVP.
I've been excited all year, honestly. From the coaching staff, on down to each and every individual player. So the excitement is there, the togetherness is there.
Russ, on the other hand, famously carried the Thunder all season. After the break, the definition of most valuable player puts the Westbrook-Harden debate to bed. The 2016-17 MVP was fought out between Mr. Triple-Double Russell Westbrook and Rockets spearhead James Harden. Let's boil it down, though. The MVP award is for most valuable player. There simply was no one more valuable than Westbrook. Throughout the season, per 100 possessions, OKC was 12.2 points better off when Russ was on the floor. Harden only made a 3.5-point impact. It should also be noted, Westbrook had less game time than Harden to rack up his individual numbers. Further to Westbrook's credit, despite being surrounded by turkeys, he constantly swatted questions over whether he was the only player worth his salt on the OKC roster.
I consider it a good season. I think, from myself to every guy down in that locker room did an amazing job. all year long. We can be nothing but proud of them. I'm just happy to have an opportunity to be able to play with all these guys. Man, they do an amazing job of making the game easy for me.
And when Harden came runner-up for MVP, he was again gracious.
For one, I think James had an unbelievable season, man. And James is a real good friend of mine, as you guys know. And to have him, here in the building, competing every single night, it's a blessing in itself.
And when you hear what drives Westbrook, he's even more likable.
As for emotions, man, it just my family, man. That's who I play for. And it's every night you guys see me scream, pound my chest, whatever I do whatever it is, emotion. It's for my family because they sacrifice so much for me at every level that I know that they do, and I'm just so thankful to have them in my life. And definitely have them here tonight. So.
James Harden put in an outstanding 2016-17 season. But there was no question the league's most valuable was the dude who rewrote history.
History rewritten in Denver.
Kyrie Irving's trade to Boston sent shockwaves and marked the end of a legacy. But can we blame him for wanting to grow? In the 6 years Kyrie Irving spent with Cleveland, he emerged as one of the best guards in the NBA. When the Cavs won the 2015-16 championship, riding on cloud 9, he made an ironic call.
We're all together and we're all bonded for life, and this is an unbelievable ride that I remember for the rest of my life. And the only question that can ever be said about this team is, what's next? What's next?
Fast forward 12 months and a frustrating 2016-17 season, capped by a 4-1 pantsing in the finals against the Warriors, and he was less enthusiastic.
This has been probably the longest year and a half of my life, hands down. So, just a test of will, a lot of individual adversity as well as collective adversity that leads all up to this moment.
Rather than sticking it out, Kyrie sent a shockwave through the NBA when he requested to be traded, eventually landing in Boston.
The Boston Celtics and Cleveland Cavaliers sent the NBA into a tizzy Tuesday when they swapped all-star point guards Kyrie Irving and Isaiah Thomas.
Prior to the trade, Cavs suits played down any tension with their star. But when it was all said and done, his body language said otherwise.
When Boston came a knocking, I was answering. So it was pretty awesome about the way it all transpired.
Irving was all philosophy and big picture explaining the move.
Me leaving there wasn't about basketball, it was more or less about creating that foundation with me in Cleveland, and then now taking this next step as a 25-year-old evolving man and being the best basketball player I can be.
But he also didn't hide the more core reason. Kyrie wanted out from the shadow of one LeBron James, without doubt, the best player of his generation. He was there when the King scored 30 points against the Celtics in late 2016 and surpassed Hakeem Olajuwon on the all-time scoring list.
He says he didn't know that I knew the magnitude of what he was trying to do tonight to crack the top 10 in scoring. So, I brought it up to him in the locker room and saying that he needed 2 more points, and he said, I didn't know. Yeah, he knew. Yeah, he knows everything. He'll tell you, I know everything. So, I know he will get it in Philly, and I'm excited to be a part of that. I mean, almost every accomplishment seems like it's steamrolling.
And again when LeBron steamrolled past Shaq in early 2017.
It's an exciting feat. He does amazing things every single day, so to have him on our team and be able to be part of history is nothing short of amazing. So, you never take it for granted, having a great player like that on your team.
It's a good thing Kyrie chose basketball and not poker for a career, because he wasn't fooling anyone there. Strangely, many didn't see the move coming.
Yeah, I was as surprised as everybody else when I saw that pop up on my phone, and people have been asking me, did you ever think that would happen, or could you see it happening? And now I'm surprised as everybody else.
But for others, it was outright outrage. The Twitter sphere became a zone of Kyrie hate for ditching Cleveland, which we won't repeat here. But can you really blame a great player like Irving for wanting to step up and spread his wings? It's not like he was disrespectful to LeBron.
To look back at the amount of ground we covered in the last 3-year span, or even before that because we had a prior relationship, and to really realize how special that was and how much growth happened in that amount of time, I'd be sitting up here and telling you guys a lie if I didn't tell you I learned so much from that guy. I've had the unique opportunity to play with one of the greats, and it was awesome.
You've got to understand what kind of personality we're dealing with. His Rookie of the Year award was a sign of things to come. Kyrie made huge contributions to the Cavs during his time, totaling over 8,200 points. And the 2016 championship ring was icing on the cake, all achieved by the time he was 25. During the 2017 All-Star Game, which is supposed to be a welcome break from the blowtorch of regular season pressure, he got cranky with some of his Eastern Conference teammates for not taking things seriously.
They're a little matador in terms of layups that they let go. A few guys standing at half court. I mean, it's all in good fun, but I definitely think that if we want a competitive game, guys will probably have to talk about it before the game. But, for me, I haven't played since Wednesday, since we played the Pacers, and getting out and going up and down, get a little cardio is always good. So going forward, I'm pretty sure we got to talk about it and then go out and just compete.
This edge carried his team when he stepped up with 40 points in Game 4 of the Finals series, contributing to a 137-116 victory, spoiling the Warriors' sweep of the entire playoffs.
Well, we finally settled in, man. It was, it was about damn time. For all of us, just to really see what playing well as a group looks like against a great team like the Warriors.
While he's probably terrible to play a casual game of pool with, it's the minerals of a great champion who simply felt the drive to fly the nest. The LeBron-Kyrie legacy will always be there, and you can't knock the guy for wanting to write his own chapter. Up next, does Kevin Durant deserve so much flack for seeking championship glory with the Warriors? While he seemed as chilled as ice, Kevin Durant's reaction to winning his first championship ring with the Golden State Warriors was inflammatory.
It's been a year of just calm, peace, just a relaxing season, man.
Yeah, said most of Oklahoma. That's what happens when you go with a sure bet. KD's move from Oklahoma City to the Bay Area following the 2015-16 season was the most controversial since LeBron ditched Miami for Cleveland. Critics slammed him. Rather than stick it out with OKC, he chose the path of least resistance toward his first championship ring with an already talent-heaving Golden State. On top of the very public dissolving of his relationship with former teammate and MVP Russell Westbrook, venom flowed on social media. One Oklahoma teacher even handed out encouragements to students that said, "Don't be a Kevin Durant, be a Michael Jordan."
Your Bill Russell 2017 Finals MVP, Kevin Durant.
The hate was almost intensified when he lifted the trophy. But it was losing sight of an incredible feat. KD utterly dominated the finals series, averaging over 35 points per game en route to the Warriors' 16-1 postseason campaign, rightly earning him the 2017 Finals MVP.
I just tried to stay in the moment the whole series, and I think that worked for me. I remember plenty of times throughout my career, I continue to just look in the past and look ahead and not stay in the moment. In this series, I just stayed in the moment.
It gave Durant all the platform in the world to hit back at his detractors.
Proving haters wrong, like that's cool. That's cool for me to talk about on Instagram or Twitter, but like you don't concern me. I'm coming in and working every day, seeing how I can be the best teammate I can be, the best player I can be. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but nobody comes in and cares about the game or loves the game as much as I do or works as hard as I do at the basketball game. You can talk about whatever happens on outside, but inside those lines, I come to bring it every day. I work hard. I believe in myself. I believe in the game. I respect the game. I love the game.
And you gotta remember how much blood, sweat, and tears Durant spilled before the move. He was there when the Supersonics relocated and became the Thunder in 2008. And along with Westbrook, carried the team to the NBA Finals in 2012, runner-up to LeBron's Miami Heat. He was NBA MVP in the 2013-14 season, and then went 3-1 up in the Western Conference Final against the Warriors in 2016, only to lose in Game 7. So when his moment came, KD found it a little hard to process.
Yeah, it was 55 seconds left, and I went over to half-court line, and I bent down. I was like, is this really happening? And Dre was like, keep playing to the end. Andre Iguodala was like, keep playing. We got 50 seconds left. And I'm like, bro, we about to win the title.
He also deserves credit for the way he handled the move. When KD arrived at the Warriors, he stole much of the limelight from Steph Curry. When Steph's form slumped in the finals, Durant was sure to bring attention to his man's better moments.
What about Steph Curry after not having a great game in Game 4, came out tonight, played like a big dog, 15 free throws, 10 assists, 34 points. You know what I'm saying? Don't say what you want about him, but he played like a big dog all series.
Let's not pretend a great player's legacy isn't defined by a championship ring. Durant's 2016-17 master plan might have ruffled a few feathers, but it gave him what was rightly his. LeBron James uses his platform for change. Unafraid to speak his mind. Is it an example all athletes should follow? When racial tensions spilled over in the USA in 2016, NBA veteran Carmelo Anthony took to social media with the hope of creating change.
I went to bed and I woke up in the middle of the night and I just started typing. And as I was typing, you know, I just started speaking. I spoke from the heart. And the first thing that came to my mind was I have to get my athletes, my fellow athletes, to step up and use their voice and use their platform in the best way that they can.
Anthony received a swell of support, including from one man whose platform is about as high as it can get, LeBron James. The King is no stranger to sticking his neck out for things he believes in.
I think you guys know when I'm passionate about something, I speak upon it.
In 2016, NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick started protesting about racism in America by kneeling instead of standing during the national anthem before games.
It's ultimately what the goal is, to affect this country and those people positively.
And LeBron was right behind him.
I'm all in favor of anyone, athlete or non-athlete, being able to express what they believe in a peaceful manner. And that's exactly what Colin Kaepernick is doing, and I respect that.
Unfortunately, while readying to launch into the 2017 finals campaign, an anonymous peanut sprayed a racist slur on the gate of LeBron's Californian home. Answering cowardice with courage, the big man turned it into a positive.
If this is to shed a light and continue to keep the conversation going on my behalf, then I'm okay with it.
It's so crazy that LeBron James, the epitome of American success, was still the victim of something that should have been dealt with long ago.
No matter how much money you have, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, you know, being black in America is tough, and we got a long way to go. You know, for us as a society and for us as African Americans until we feel equal.
After all, NBA players are still human beings.
I went to the movies last week at a regular movie theater. I went to go see, I forgot the name of the movie, but I went to go see, what's the movie with the girls and they be singing? Pitch Perfect 2, which is unbelievable. Fat Amy is awesome. I love her. Wherever you are, you're awesome. I sat out at an outdoor burger place, had me a burger. Last night I went out and had a great dinner. I do normal stuff. I think I do.
In the aftermath of the graffiti incident, one of the best responses came from tennis superstar Venus Williams.
Well, I'm sad that people are still wasting their energy on that. You would think that if you spend your energy building yourself up and others up, then you could create a world you like, but that's not always the case with everyone.
When race again caused division following the 2017 playoffs, LeBron stepped up with a brilliant response.
I have this platform, and I'm somebody that has a voice of command, and the only way for us to be able to get better as a society and us to get better as people is love.
To know guys like LeBron James are on the case to combat people who seem to be stuck in the Middle Ages is huge. But as Carmelo said, it takes more than just one voice.
Well, man, if I had the solution, then this would be corrected already. I always said that it's not going to happen overnight. I'm not going to change it by myself. I think it's going to take a collective effort.
Still to come, Steph Curry might have a few tricks up his sleeve, but he's got nothing on these guys. If you've ever watched Steph Curry do his thing, you know he has a fair bag of tricks. In 2017, a car company put them to use for one of their commercials. Steph nailed a long bomb through the sunroof on his very first shot, and in his usual way, really played things down.
It only took me one try.
Hilariously, while on tour in China later in the year to promote the game, someone pulled a bag of tricks out on Steph, freaking him out with a magical trick while at dinner. But there's a bunch of clowns with more tricks and more magic even than Steph, the Harlem Globetrotters. Theirs is a tricky legacy that goes way back. Here on a tour in Berlin in 1962, legendary Meadowlark Lemon toyed with his opposition. They had a bag of tricks so deep, they made outsmarting their opposition look like kid stuff. Then, the following year in London, with a young Prince Philip among the onlookers, the local team, the Lord's Trotters, resorted to all manner of cheating to match their tricky guests. Step into the 21st century, and the tricks have become something else. Here, Globetrotter Thunder Law set a new Guinness World Record for longest blindfolded basket, nailed from 69 feet. You thought Steph was sharp from deep range? In 2017, 6'8" trickster Zeus McClurkin hit up Viking Stadium in Minnesota, home of the world's largest pivoting door, to flex his muscles. Zeus then proceeded to make Steph's sunroof shot look lame with this high-rise hoop. And just to be sure we know how tricky he is, he nailed a second shot over the head. Zeus, you might be trickier than the MVP, but don't blow your horn too loudly, mate. It's been a blast putting basketball under the blowtorch in this episode of The Burning Issue. Thanks for watching.